Hey everybody. Alright, well I've tried to do this video a few times and I get a little bit too deep in it every time or something. But I want to just kind of cover my knives, and you can see that I have kind of a dainties collection. What I've done is I've tried to just get the quality knives, at least in my opinion, in their little categories. We're not going to be covering all my cheap ass knives in this thing. All these little pieces of crap. These really don't count, really, in my book. They're nothing I'm carrying ever. They're just sitting around as they were a gift from Dad or whatever in the past. But I think I just kind of go from start to finish, and I'm going to start out with, get right into it here. This boot knife that I got. This thing is over 26, probably 27 years old now. I got this out of the back of a Soldier of Fortune magazine. I don't know, it's probably 14 years old, who knows, 13 to 15. Leather sheath, metal. The snap, this is a testament of why you want to snap and not Velcro, guys. That thing's held up over the years. It's very strong, but yet it's got the metal in there, so when you want to, just hit it and you're good to go. This is originally green. I painted it tan. The edges were never sharp on it. I'm starting to get them there. It's all about the tip. I mean, this thing's definitely a vicious knife. 440 stainless, it says on it, Japan. I have one concern with it though. That. I don't know what that is. It's probably the tang inside the handle. Somehow, because who knows? I mean, nothing's moving in there. But anyway, so that was basically my first knife ever that I still owned, that I still have here ever. And I'll put that over there. Things progressed, and then I started getting into, you know, wanting to finally get a nice folder for EDC. And this is only a couple of years ago, guys. Seriously, I ended up getting the Kershaw, the Barrage at that point. Now it's called the Salvo. You'll see that all my knives are in absolute mint shape, really. I do use some of them, but they do remain in excellent shape. But I just love this. This is what started me at my passion towards wanting more blades, just because of the solid construction. I mean, it almost feels like a fixed blade, how solid the lockup is on this thing. The shape of the blade, I love it. These serrations are they're different than most serrations, these Kershaw ones, and I really like them. And it doesn't take up too much real estate on the blade, so I really do enjoy this. I've enjoyed this knife. It carries excellent. It's so thin. It has one drawback, is the thumb stud is just way too small for it. It works, obviously, but it's not fun. It's got one of the worst thumb studs of any of the knives I have. But again, for what it cost, I don't know, it still remains as one of my favorite knives, and the reason I got into this. The clip is excellent. It's got the 14 C26N steel, and made in the USA, baby. This is that rubberized inserts, and I do like them. Just the solidness of this blade is what inspires confidence, and it's what sparked everything. So this is out there remaining as one of my favorites. And again, pretty much next in the progression here. Right soon after that, I ended up just picking up a cheap Vapor from eBay. It was $9, and I got this as a backup to this. Use this one more, you know, bring it to work or whatever, and you know, I wasn't in love with it. Thought it was rather cheap and cheaply made in a way. But then I went ahead and painted it, and then I gained a new respect for it and love. And once I get in there and I oiled up the pivot screw and got it all looking nice as I do, I've certainly gained some respect for it, and I like it. It's got, I think it's AUS-6 steel, fairly cheap steel, but whatever, but I can sharpen it, which makes me happy. So this isn't a bad little secondary to have. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but for what it costs, still finding a part in my collection there. From that point on, what happened? I ended up picking up a cheap LA Police Gear knife. This I got out of from LA Police Gear. It was closeout. I think it was from $34 down to $9, and painted it green. It's got a lot of movement left to right. You know, this doesn't work so hot. It was just kind of a gimmicky thing, but for the $9, I'm glad I took a chance on it. I use it a lot for my, this has gotten the hardest use of these blades because I don't mind thrashing on it to cut through cardboard and shit like that. The jimping is absolutely excellent on it. And kind of a cheap frame lock, very thin. But the G10, you know, handles are nice, scales, whatever you call them. I don't know, I can't get over how shitty this pocket clip design is. I just don't know how this got past anybody when they were designing this knife. You know, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous in a way, but I guess that's why I was on closeout for $9. Still fine though. It doesn't have a hell of a lot of blade retention. That could be an issue. But again, for what it is, I don't mind it. It's stayed in the collection. I don't think I could get much for it anyway, so I don't mind having it around. Okay. Okay, see, from that point on, oh, then I ended up picking up a shop in Midway, and I saw these on closeout and clearance. It was the Nobleman, the Buck Nobleman, and it came in the same package with a colleague. And it was $12 for the two. This thing, actually, this is one of my top favorite knives. Between this and the colleague, the blades themselves are the sharpest blades I own. They're just ridiculous razors. You know, the liner lock, they're frame lock, both of them, and it just seems like it's done extremely well. It's very thick, beefy. You know, side to side. There's no side to side. This gets marked up pretty easy, but again, I don't really care. I just lightning fast. It was always, you know, unfortunately, boom. This kind of set the tone for me expecting that from every flipper I got, and then you know, the fact that I paid so little for it, I am like, why can't all these other knives do it like that? But for what I paid, this has really been a great addition. It's got a really excellent pocket clip. It's got a neat design on it. It sits pretty low. The colleague's a bit too small, but I'll tell you what I do with this thing. The colleague lives in my 511 boots. There's these two hidden compartments on one on each boot. That thing lives in there. Never had any problems with it falling out or anything. So that's a nice backup knife that no one's going to know you have. And I ended up putting my little Swiss Army knife in the other pocket, in the other boot. So there's the progression. We go there, 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 and then we get these guys came into picture. Alright. Then around last summer, I ended up getting lucky enough. I won 2 Kershaw Chives. This one came from I Spy, and I won another one through Tim's contest, which Puggy had donated. And I mean, obviously killer little knives. I just don't use it. I can be quite honest with you. This thing just sits at home, doesn't do a heck of a lot. I can certainly see it being a great little secondary knife to keep on you. This can ride in the 511 boot too, and I've done that for a while. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know, a little gimmicky, I think, for me. It's a little small. I do like it. I'm glad I have it. I think I need to put a lanyard on it. Maybe that'll help me with my love of it. But, you know, sharp as anything. I use this actually a lot when I'm doing the detail work for these knives. When I'm cutting out the pattern to do these knives, I use this to cut the tape, actually. So I have used this quite a bit for that. That and this together, both well for that. So that came along, and I was pretty happy to get that and psyched. So I needed a camping knife or a survival knife. And then enter the Ontario Quartermaster, the SB17 Spec Plus, and I got this thing on eBay for inexpensive money, guys. Nice balance on it. You know, this thing had a little bit of a this is a factory second, has a little tiny scratch in the coating of the blade. It went deep, but of course I Duracoated over it, and I just love the thing. This thing is just beautiful. Absolutely love that I have this knife. And those of you that haven't seen this, well, there you go. This thing is awesome. I really like it. So that came into the picture, and that kind of covers my ass for camping knives and possible survival knife. That gets in the picture a little bit. So at that point, I'm thinking, all right, it's time. And I started thinking about Spyderco. Gotta get a Spyderco, you know. And that was when the whole Endura and Delica Endura kick was going on. And so I put it off. And again, I have a hard time spending a lot of money on knives, and you know, I'll pay it, I guess, now knowing what I know, I'll pay it if I really am going to be in love with it. But as you can see, the theme, I like the liner locks and frame locks, and I just like that. So when I started thinking about the Delica and the Endura having a back lock, or lock back, whichever way you call it, I kind of got turned off by it. But I also was like at this point thinking, all right, it's time to get a high-end knife. And so that's when I took the plunge, and I ended up going full bore and getting the military. And you know, there's not much to say about this other than awesomeness. I mean, this thing is just incredible. I love it. Unbelievable speed. I love G10 scales. I love anything camo, hence the theme. I just always like that. I like blacked out blades. You know, it's got a titanium nested liner lock, and just a great knife. A little big, especially for me, but that does aid and assist for, I have some reach with it, and just overall love it. And I EDC the shit out of this thing, I'll tell you what. I do notice, of course, this I painted green, looks pretty good. But there's a lot of wear on it, even with the Duracoat. This thing just wears, man. Clips on Spyderco's wear. It's just the nature of the beast with them. I like that it has the jimping underneath the choil here and up top. This has got the best jimping of any knife I have, period. But just love it. So this came along, and I was really psyched, and there you go. So at that point now, boom, yep, psyched on, sold on Spyderco. Time to start searching for the Delica and the Enduro. I ended up winning this one on eBay for 36 bucks. I don't care about the color. I figured I could always paint it, but I kind of like the green. I mean, I'm Italian. The green certainly fits my part of my heritage. Excellent little knife. I mean, I just love it. The one disappointment when I got it, it's not this crazy flipper. And I'm expecting that after all these knives I have. I'm expecting it to be a big flipper. And I was happy to see, number one, that I'm able to shut it one-handed. That's fine, and it does not take a lot of muscle memory to figure that out. And when you get this, you're going to be very excited at first. You're also going to be a little bit disappointed at that part, I think, at the flipper part of it. It's still nice. I personally don't like that. I mean, that there's flex in the knife itself, but then again, you're not using this thing tactically, and for an EDC knife, I can't think of a much better knife to have based on all its attributes. It's lightweight. Just overall, it's a great little knife, and I'm happy to have that. So from there, it was a natural thought, and everybody's saying, oh, well, if you want flipper, you want flipper, got to get the Endura. That's going to do it for you. I mean, again, remember, I'm coming from this. So I ended up getting a killer deal on an Endura. In fact, I got two the same night, so I ended up selling one of them. V-Hammer, you got the purple one, buddy. Hope you're loving that still. And again, when I first got it, I was a little bit not. It's huge. It's almost the same size as the military, okay? But yet just small enough that it's a lot more user-friendly, okay? So yeah, definitely loving this knife and that for what it is. Got really nice jimping. The one thing about it, though, I think I'm not a big fan of the blade shape. I'm not sure if there's enough belly on it or just the way it's a dropped point. I'd prefer it, I think, to be more of the bird shape, like the military. And I don't know, either that or, I mean, even if it was a bigger version of the Endura. Whoa, I mean, Delica. Okay, filming in action here. Quiet on the set. So again, I think a lot of you might agree with this. I might be wrong, but if someone gave me the choice and they said pick one, you can only keep one, I would keep the Delica versus the Endura. You're certainly getting a lot of blade here, though. That's for sure. And I'm just saying, if someone said pick one of the two that you can just EDC, and you know, if you had to have one of them, it would be this. Lately, I've whoa, see, I don't like that one-handed close. Lately, I've seen a lot less of either one of these available on eBay. This one I got for under 40 bucks as well, actually. They just seem to be running a shortage on them. But good thing is they are going to be part of the line now, so they will be producing these. So I'm pretty happy with this little Spyderco lineup I got. Kind of the three amigos here. You know, I'm liking them. So from there, I pretty much had everything. And for me, you know, I'm like, I don't want to spend a lot more money. I kind of got what I like now, and I have a really couple of good favorites I don't mind carrying. I was lucky enough then, right around Christmas time, to win the Seal Pup Elite from Robbie 574. And my God, buddy, I've stated it before, I am in love with this knife. It's just beautiful. Of course, it didn't come that way. I painted it, but I just love it. Just fits my hand well. The grip feels much better. Then I sanded it a tiny bit, and then I Duracoated it. It's just, I don't know, it just fits me. I'm lucky enough too that this actually fits into the sheath of my boot knife, so I can use this as an alternate boot sheath. Pretty psyched about that, I'll tell you what. So this joined the lineup, pretty happy it did. Then time went by, and you know how it happens. A couple months go by and you start getting the itch. You say, you gotta get a new knife. It's been a couple months. But I wanted to make sure I got the right thing. And, you know, I just kind of waited and waited, and I wanted to wait till something really caught my eye. And what kept catching my eye was the Aegis, the SOG Aegis. I just had to have one. And after a couple of weeks fooling around eBay, I finally picked one up. And this is now my favorite knife. Again, it has the same blade design as the Barrage. The handle is thick, yet super lightweight, if you don't drop it. Super lightweight, so it gives you the feel. It actually feels almost lighter than the Endura. It almost feels like the Delica. But yet it's big enough. It's not too long like the military, so it fits my hand better. Jimping's alright. I like that I can close it one-handed. Actuate, close. Actuate, and I don't have to move the position of how I'm holding the blade. And I can do it left-handed too. How many knives can you be as that proficient with your left as your right? And if you really needed to, boom, I like that. It's not super fast on its own, but if you put your nail under it and you shoot it out, that's how it comes out nice and fast. So this thing's been my favorite. I love it. One issue, not an issue, I mean I like the pocket clip. Obviously, with it in your pocket, you don't see much but nothing. Okay, I found it a little unusual. It's a little bit, it's not tight against the knife. It doesn't have to be, okay? But I would have thought it would be a little tighter. Might have to fix that, but if it sits so low in your pocket, you're not losing it anyway. I mean, hell, the body of the knife is literally below the end of your pocket, so I don't think you'll ever lose it. I like having a little lanyard on it, just whatever. This just tests for that, but this has come into play as one of my favorites, or the favorite. And then I just couldn't resist picking up a Rat 1. As I mentioned, and I have in that video, I mean, 20 bucks? Come on. This thing came out beautiful, I think. With the contrast between the black blade and the tan. This thing locks up like a goddamn tank. I was able to skeletonize the liner lock just a tiny bit. I mean, the liner just a tiny bit. Really unique way the blade sits. I'm really glad I have this. This thing's nice and sharp. Really a nice hard worker knife. For the money, I think, again, you really should have it in your collection. So, I think that pretty much does it, guys. It's kind of embarrassing, in a way, I guess, but I got some quality items. I only got 11 pocket knives, and I got 3 fixed blades. I mean, that's my collection. I do have a big old Persian knife, but I'm trying to sell that. I think someone's buying that. I keep forgetting his name, but there's my collection. Anybody got any thoughts or opinions? Please let me know, but also let me know what you think. I mean, I'm happy with what I got, and I don't think I need too much more. There you go. Alright guys, thanks for checking in. Hopefully some more vids soon.